This is the Insta360 Link 2 and this is the Link 2C, the bleeding edge of webcam tech right there. And in this video we will not only compare these two models but also bring in the latest and best webcam from Logitech, the MX Brio. These are the best 4K webcams that you can get right now. It is gonna be interesting, and moreover Insta360 promises DSLR grade quality with new amazing and convenient features like true focus, automatic reframing, HDR, AI noise suppression, as well as tracking, enhanced bokeh and much more, as well as the best audio performance ever. So yeah, looks and sounds amazing, right? But which of these webcams is actually the best? Well, let's find out. Before we get started with this comparison, if you are interested in any of these products already, then check out the product links in the description below. I will of course link the best deals for you. Yeah, now let's check it out and let's find out which camera is best. First of all, let's start with a side-by-side comparison of the build. So that's the footprint, and as you can see, the Link 2, the size of the Link 2 is quite a bit smaller than of the Logitech MX Brio. So it's almost as big as both Links together. And as you saw, all three of them have a magnetic holder, pretty dope. Also for these, the magnet is sufficiently strong to hold all of them in place, very strong magnet. And the articulation is very similar. So in terms of the bracket, it is definitely neck on neck. So when it gets to mounting these cams, you will get a lot of mounting freedom, to say the least. The Link 2C is of course much smaller, but even the Link 2 with the 3-axis gimbal, it's actually not a lot bigger as well. This is a 2-axis gimbal, giving it superb tracking functionalities compared to the MX Brio. And when it gets to privacy, the Link 2 will simply face downwards. And the privacy feature of the Link 2C, it has this integrated shutter right there, which is looking really cool. Check that out, I love it. And the MX Brio also has an integrated privacy shutter, which looks like this. When it gets to the weight, the Link 2C is the lightest, then the Link 2 is almost as heavy as the MX Brio, but this one definitely is the heaviest. So for traveling, the Link 2C hands down wins this. It is extremely compact. The Logitech Brio is $199.99, the Link 2 is $199, and the 2C is $50 cheaper at $149 US dollars. So Insta360 brings extremely competitive pricing. For the same price as the Brio, you will get a gimbal system with an incredible webcam on it, or a Link 2C for $50 less. That brings many more features to the table than the MX Brio. But let's not stop here. Let's also compare the rest of the specs. The resolution for all three of them is 4K 30 FPS or 1080p with 60 FPS. All three offer HDR. For these, the field of view is 79.5 degrees, and for the MX Brio you can choose between 90, 78 and 65. In terms of audio, we have AI noise cancelling, super advanced, and the MX Brio has a regular noise cancelling. Furthermore, we have 3 dedicated modes. We have a voice focus, a voice suppression and a music balance mode. We already checked out the privacy mode, so we have one for all three of them, and you can also freely choose all the parameters of the camera: white balance, focus, change the colors and all of that good stuff. But the Link system offers many more features that are not possible with the MX Brio. For example, we have the desk view, the portrait mode, AI tracking with the gimbal, or the auto framing that will automatically zoom in. We have the gesture control, we have the stop, the piece, the L for zooming, we have the pause track area, we have the new smart whiteboard mode, virtual backgrounds, for example natural bokeh, background blur, as well as a complete background replacer, and we already get a smartphone control for these webcams. So many more features for the same price point or $50 cheaper. Incredible. So here we have the test setup. What I would like to mention is that the Logitech bracket does not have a threaded insert, so you can only get a fixed position with this one, while the Link brackets have the threaded insert, so you can also screw it in and then fully adjust it afterwards, like that. So you will still get the full adjustability of the bracket, tight fit, but everything works out nicely. All three of them have the USB-C port on the back. They come with sufficiently long cables, but the Link cameras, they also come with a conversion adapter from USB-C to USB-A. I did not find one for the MX Brio. So I'm super excited for this test, so let's hook them all up. During the operation, they will look like this. So we have a nice green ring on the 2, a green dot on the 2C, and a white dot on the Brio. When we close it up, it will look like this. We can also close the 2C. And the Link 2, that's so cool, so check this out. We can easily adjust it by just grabbing it, positioning it, and then letting go. It will stay in this position. And we can also turn it off just like that. We will get this message. We can also turn off the microphone, of course, but that's the setup so far. Oh yeah, and as you saw, the ring will then also turn to a dark orange. Really cool. And that's my recording setup right there. In the left upper corner, I have the Link 2. Then I have the Link 2C. I have the MX Brio. And right there, I have the iPhone. But before we get to the comparison, let's also check out the software briefly. For the MX Brio, we have the Logitech options software right there, and we can access the camera settings just like that. We also have presets with different fields of views, and we can also get a 2x zoom and also a manual zoom right there. For this test, I will pick the 78 degrees field of view, since this will be the closest to the Link cameras. Again, right there, 65, 78, 90, and we can also zoom. It will look like that, and we can also position it with these arrows. Right on. Reset to default, and there we go. Then we have the exposure right there. We can go for manual as well. Low light compensation. Here we have HDR. It's activated right out of the box. Turning it off will look like this. Turning it on will look like that. Then we also have the image settings right there. Sharpness, vibrance, saturation, contrast, brightness, as well as color temperature. But as you can see, all of that is on the automatic setting. I think this will give us an even better comparison. And then we also have focus right there. So we can also go for manual, but autofocus is best, of course. And now let's compare it to the Link controller. So we have the drop down right here for the Link 2 or for the Link 2C. So down here we have the modes. We can adjust the view very easily. We can also create presets. This is the background customization, gesture control. We also have the remote control for the smartphone. And as I already demonstrated, when you're away, you can just take it, tilt it down, finish. It's pretty much the same for the Link 2C, but with this one, of course, you just close up the shutter right there. The 2C offers auto framing, whiteboard, smart whiteboard, and desk view, and the 2 offers AI tracking instead. Single person as well as group tracking. Right there, we can also select the resolution right there. Let me turn on the lights. So in the view segment, we have the joystick. Okay, we can also do it like that. So we can either drag and drop the actual image like that. The response is really fast, or we can also use the joystick right there, or we can click just like that. We have the zoom control right there. We can reset it like that. And for example, we can go for, let's zoom into the iPhone. We can go for a preset view 1, and we have this view right there, second preset. So now we can switch between the presets really fast, super awesome. And we can easily delete them again. Then we can also get the tracking going. And when we activate it down here, now it will track my head, and it will also automatically zoom in, and it doesn't matter where I go. It's very fast and precise. And we can also switch that up to half body. Now it will look like that, and I can go wherever I want, do a presentation, you name it. And we can also go for whole body. Now it will look like that. So the tracking is on a whole other level with the 2, goes without saying. When we compare this to the 2C, we have a similar mode of the auto framing. So when I move around, it can also track me, and we have the actual image crop right there. So if I do it like this, we'll of course have more area for the tracking. That's so dope. And right here we also have the AI zoom, and we can do the head, half body and whole body as well. So that's next level already. And then we of course also have effects. Here we can change the exposure. Auto is best, of course, but we also have really detailed manual options. We have color presets. Right there we have the background blur and bokeh effects. We can set the intensity, and we also have the bokeh, which looks really nice. This is the same for both cameras. Wow, the focus is so fast. That is incredible. Are you kidding me? And down here we also have filters, portrait filter, daylight right there. Oh, this one is looking really nice. Vintage, neon. But the neon filter looks amazing. Wow. And then we also have more. And when the camera will detect a gesture, like the L for example, then the ring will flash. With the palm for example, it will then activate the AI tracking. Let's stop. Here we can also choose the audio mode. We will get to that later. And we can also flip around the video, just like that. And here we have the option to deactivate the microphone in the privacy mode. So now we have microphone mute. And when we deactivate this, microphone is on. And down here, aside from the whiteboard modes, we can also achieve a desk view with the click of a button. For this, I would need to move it a bit away. And just like that, I could also go for a desk cam, for example, for playing video games with a second camera, film my hands for drawing, anything like that. So as you saw, the software is much more elaborate, many more features and functionalities. But now, let's close all of that. Oh, as you can see, the Link controller is still active, it's just minimized to the tray, whereas the Logitech option software is now completely closed. And the software, you can also switch it to the toolbar mode right there. And with that, you also have all the controls available, the presets, the different modes. And the software also allows us to record videos inside of the app. This is not possible for the Logitech options software right there. This is just for controlling the settings. So much more elaborate software when it gets to the Link cameras. And before we get to the video comparison, let me also briefly demonstrate the smartphone control. This is really powerful. You just need to open this. This is ingenious. For this, you just need to click here. It will open up the QR code. Then we can simply scan the code. And now just like that, we have the control surface on the phone. We can use a joystick and the response time, the latency is pretty much 0. Here we can also start the tracking. Super convenient. Group tracking, whiteboard mode, and we can also go for presets as well as flip the control surface around. And with that, we could easily place it and just control it from here without the audience noticing it. So in this case, we would not need the control surface on the desktop. We could just use it like that on the phone. An absolutely ingenious addition. Yeah, and with that said, let's finally move on and compare the actual video quality. For this, I will use OBS. So let's get this perfect, just like that. So we can switch around the field of view right there for the Logitech one. Now for the 2C, let's deactivate the auto framing. Let's deactivate the gestures, reset the zoom. And now for the 2C, let's deactivate the tracking as well as the gestures. Actually, let's also deactivate this filter. So as you can see, everything that's going on in the background through the software will be memorized by the cameras. And we have the highest resolution for all 3 cameras. Let's get the framing perfect. Thankfully, we have the brackets for the Link cameras. And by the way, inside of the controller, we can also easily switch around between the Link 2C and the Link 2. Yeah, and with that said, let's start the recording. So we have the Link 2, we have the 2C, we have the MX Brio. So as you can see, when it gets to the refresh rate, the Link cameras are very smooth, while the Brio has seems like a lower frame rate, so it's kind of jittery. The Link cameras also offer smoother colors as well as a smoother image and flatter colors. The Logitech has a higher contrast and it seems to be much sharper, which is not good for post-production refining. Now when it gets to the zooming capabilities, check this out. Very instant for the Link cameras, but also the Logitech Brio isn't too bad. So let's try it with this card. So as you can see, the Link cameras are much faster, and also on the close-up the letters are just much sharper, better visible. Right there, wow. Instant focus. Oh yeah, the Brio is much slower when it gets to that. Come on. Come on, there we go. The 2C instant and the 2 instant. Really nice. The real quality of the MX Brio would actually look like that. So let's switch it up to HDR for all 3 cameras. So HDR makes the Brio look a lot better. HDR for the Link 2 and also for the Link 2C. So as you can see, we have a much more natural video quality when it gets to the Link cameras. It really looks like DSLR quality right there. The Brio looks also quite good, but it still has this webcam look to it if you ask me. And once again, without HDR for all 3 cameras, clearly makes the Link cameras win when, when, it gets to footage quality. Audio is where the Link cameras really shine. We have nothing audio related when it gets to the MX Brio, but for the Link cameras we have voice focus for eliminating ambient noise, we have voice suppression for filtering out other voices, and we have music balance. If you want to, for example, play the guitar and sing, this will balance it perfectly, but for this one, of course, voice focus is best. So let's start with the audio of the MX Brio webcam. This is the raw audio of the Logitech webcam. Now we can listen to the audio of the Link 2C. That's the raw audio of the Link 2C. And lastly, we have the audio of the Link 2. I just tested it briefly. In my opinion, this webcam sounds the best. Even though my room is untreated, it's a bit echoey. It sounds amazing. Once again, Logitech Brio. We have the Insta360 Link 2C. And we have the Insta360 Link 2. That's an even harsher difference than the video. When it gets to professional calls, I would not recommend to use the Brio as a microphone. But with the Link cameras, you will get professional audio quality on the go with literally the built-in microphones. There is no external microphone needed. So as you saw, the Logitech MX Brio is exactly what you would think if you think about the term webcam. It's a classic webcam with a fixed frame, taking a video or pictures, and that's pretty much it. It is a 4K webcam and the quality is much better than all the predecessors in every way, but when you compare it to the bleeding edge of webcam tech, namely what Insta360 is bringing to the table with the Link 2 and the Link 2C, well, the MX Brio gets kicked out of the park, no kidding. Aside from a much clearer lens system and a better sensor that will provide a better image quality overall, the thing that takes the Insta360 webcams to a whole other level is of course the outstanding software. Not only is it very intuitive and user-friendly, it will give you professional quality right out of the box. There is pretty much no knowledge needed for that, but you can also highly customize each of the many settings that the companion app will provide. And you can also do this remotely on your smartphone. You can enhance the picture with HDR and enhanced bokeh, the AI system noise suppression, as well as auto tracking, auto reframing, just to name a few of the amazing features. And there is also the new smart whiteboard mode, or of course the AI gesture control, and of course also for the Link 2, a fully fledged gimbal tracking system. This can follow you around wherever you go, and heck, they can even apply makeup for you with the click of a button. And now, aside from the image aspect, they also invested a lot of resources into the audio side of things. We have noise suppression as well as background noise suppression, which will basically cut out every unnecessary sound and totally isolate your voice or whatever you're doing. It is also great for live streaming, for making music. It's professional sound quality on all levels. It is very versatile, and as you heard, it works really well. It's perfect for professional Zoom calls, online classes, or even high quality videos for YouTube. DSLR specs in a webcam factor really is not an understatement, and that is definitely drippy. Check out the product links in the description. I will list and link the best deals for you for all of these 3 webcams. But before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing tech magnet videos. That's it for this one. Enjoy your day and I will see you soon.